Out here in the souk, I came up with some good stuff, so I want to put it down. You know, I've been doing some work with Aikido and these other martial arts types things from the East. And they always talk about the Hara point and how Western, people and thinking are in the brain and in the heart, the intellect and the emotions, and they are in the belly, the center, the Hara, the Tantien, and they have the secret in the gut, which is true. But who has it more in the Yesod, in the belly, in the center of the body than the Jewish opus? Once you think that Hara point is Yesod, then you know everything. And that's the original point of consciousness. The original point of consciousness is the Yesod point. This is the Hara point. Isn't it obvious that it's our original point of focus? Because we have the bris on the 8th day. The child isn't intellect yet, isn't emotions yet, but he's down there in the Jewish Hara point, the Jewish Tantien, in the Yesod point of the focus in the middle of the body, in the gut for gut reaction. And that's what we're doing now. Recognize the Yesod point and keep it there. Once you have that, you have a instinct. The instinct is in the Yesod. And that's how Freudian became so big. And so one says, down there in the stomach and in the gut, that's like kashrut, and that's like food and feeding and breastfeeding. But the whole thing is it's the 8th day in the bris. This bris is obviously the Jewish focal point, and it's down there. So do you think that the Asian tradition and these Asian, kung fu or something has some sort of specialty there that we don't have, And what happens? What happens, by the way? So people could say, oh, well, we do have that. We have tefillin of the head and tefillin of the arm, unifying the intellect and the emotions. And I thought of that. But when does that come in? That only comes in at 13 years old. So you only make this transference. You're only obliged to make this transference out when you're 13 years old, which has a parallel again to the Yesod, because that Yesod really becomes alive at 13 years old, and you need help with that. You need help with the transition into a full Yesod at 13, at a full sexuality, you see? And so we bring in our intellect and our emotions to help us handle this tremendous potency that arrives in the Yesod and in the Hara and the stomach from the area of the umbilicus, the unconscious umbilicus, and in the stomach itself for the digestion of kosher food, which was originally vegetarian food. And the whole idea of the Yesod itself, as I walk down the street here, leading with my Yesod to keep the balance here to keep it straight up. Bring my focus into my Yesod. Anyway, this is a very interesting thing that I've thought of about the intellect and the emotions as being a restraint for the potency of the Yesod. And that when that full potency comes about at 13, you need that extra help, and that's what tefillin is. You see? Tefillin is associated with that Yesod as an oath. You see? What are the 3 oaths? You know, the oath of tefillin, the oath of the oath of bris, the oath of Shabbos. These are the 3 oaths. And so this is how, as I'm walking here, I see the rabbi who didn't help us when we were kicked out of synagogue. See the rabbi. While I'm doing my video about the most deepest aspects and sacred aspects. So that's why I'm paused here a second. This oath, this sign, this mark is the Jewish center. In a certain sense, if one can handle his bris, he's got it made.